everyone, welcome back to the XFL Fan Zone, and it's draft day, and we just got done with the first 10 rounds of the XFL skill position draft. So before we talk about the actual draft, we'll talk about these quarterback allocations, and I can tell you right now, the more you think you have it figured out, the more surprised you get. So let's go to the one surprise everyone knew about. That was Landry Jones going to the Dallas Renegades to work under Bob Stoops of Dallas. He coached. Landry Jones was his quarterback in Oklahoma. That is not a surprise. Another non-surprise is Cardell Jones, a guy I wanted for New York, but even though he's not really a Kevin Gilbride type of guy, he went to the DC Defenders. So DC Defenders are getting a very good quarterback, and the type of quarterback which I think the XFL can capitalize on. Young guy, lots of good skills, not quite ready for the NFL, but can be fun to watch in a spring football league. Houston Roughnecks, we want Johnny Manziel. Last time we found out, it's Philip Walker, who was leaked out. Out of Temple. He's going to fit well in that run and shoot offense. He was fun to watch at Temple. That man could run, he could scramble, and he could throw that ball pretty accurate. LA Wildcats get Luis Perez. Again, one of my favorite stories in this league, and one of my favorite stories in the AAF. The bowler turned quarterback, the walk-on, who watched 5,000 hours of YouTube videos to learn how to become a quarterback, and became a quarterback, and won the Division II version of the Heisman Trophy. And so I think it's going to be exciting to watch. I mean, he had nothing with the Birmingham Iron to throw to. I mean, Trent Richardson was his biggest weapon at the backfield and running the ball at the goal line. Seattle Dragons, again, get Brandon Silvers. Not surprised. We thought Brandon Silvers would go as a Tier 1, and he did. A lot of people were saying St. Louis, LA. Nope, he goes to Seattle to work with Jim Zorn. That's not a surprise. He is a Jim Zorn type of quarterback. He is not a strong arm, but very accurate. You cannot teach accurate. He's a smart guy. He can read defenses. He can run a little, but he's better at making time as opposed to really being a scrambler. Tampa Bay, Brett Tierce, your man. Aaron Murray, one of the great quarterbacks in the SEC out of Georgia. You're getting him. Mark Trestman's going to have his quarterback. Aaron Murray, not exactly the greatest career in the AAF, but with the Atlanta Legends, he didn't have much to work with. He really didn't. Him and Matt Sims, I actually felt pretty bad for him. St. Louis Battlehawks. Jordan Taru out of Ole Miss, another SEC quarterback. That is your quarterback. Not a bad guy to have. Again, a guy who pretty much came out of nowhere. I wouldn't say nowhere, but we expect him to be a Tier 1. But Jonathan Hayes, I'll have a look. I honestly see something in him. And being an SEC quarterback, he's played in some good competition. He's played some tough schedules. Why not? And finally, my guy, which is a really surprise. I didn't expect this one at all. Matt McGloin. Matt McGloin was a starter at Penn State, mostly his senior year. He did very well for himself his senior year. He was a walk-on at Penn State as a quarterback. He shared duties for the first 3 years. He played a little bit more from his freshman to his junior year, and got most of the playing time at Penn State. Did pretty good. Had a couple stints with the I think the Colts, and his biggest one was with the Raiders. I think the Eagles practice squad for a while. I guess I could say I'm not happy about the pick, but I'm not mad about it either. I'm kind of like, okay. That's the one guy I didn't see being a Tier 1. Not exactly a Kevin Gilbride guy. He's not a scrambler. He's not a runner. He's a pocket passer, but he's also short, 6'0", and he works real hard. I mean, to last this long, as long as he has, to play around football, I guess he really wants to make something of himself. So As long as you got that drive, and Matt McGloin definitely has a drive. He's walks around like he's got a chip on his shoulder. So Matt McGloin goes to the New York Guardians. I'm actually more excited about my the quarterback we just drafted a few minutes ago, and it is almost 12 o'clock now. The next 10 rounds is going to begin at 1 p.m. I think that's going to be the offensive lineman. Let's see. Marquise Williams, I got in the 10th round. A big quarterback out of North Carolina. He could run. He's got a stronger arm. Matt McGloin is definitely the more accurate quarterback. Marquise Williams has definitely got the better arm. He can scramble, and he is very mobile. And I think if you're going to play football in New York outside in February, March, and those winds are swirling at MetLife Stadium, you need your quarterback to have the option of running also, because if you can't throw in that wind, I mean, he's got the cannon to throw in the wind, but he's got to master how to throw in those winds. Not an easy thing. Phil Simms was good at it. Eli Manning eventually learned how to do it, but it is not easy. So I'm actually more excited about my 10th round pick than I am about my Tier 1 Marquise Williams. Let's talk about the draft. Rashard Davis, wide receiver at James Madison. He went the first overall draft pick in the draft. He goes to the DC Defenders, wide receiver at James Madison. Next, Houston took Connor Cook, a quarterback out of Michigan State. So despite the fact Houston has Philip Walker, they went and took Connor Cook, which is a good pick, because as soon as I found I had Matt McGloin as my quarterback, I actually wanted to take Connor Cook with my first pick of the draft in the first round, but Houston was one pick ahead of us. I ended up getting D'Angelo Yancey, wide receiver out of Purdue. And to finish up the first round, Dallas took Jeff Badet, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Nick Truesdale, tight end out of Grand Rapids, he went 5th to Tampa Bay. St. Louis took Christian Michael, running back out of Texas A&M. Seattle took Trey Williams, running back out of Texas A&M. And Elijah Hood to the LA Wildcats. We're going to do this real quickly. In the second round, Rashad Ross went to the LA Wildcats in the first pick of the second round. Of course, he was with the Arizona Hotshots. He was awesome. He was John Wolford's best, probably fastest, biggest deep threat he had. Kenny Farrell, again, I like very much, who I wanted to see in the Guardians, running back out of Houston. He was great with the San Antonio Commanders. And round 3, my team, we got Mikael McKay, receiver out of Cincinnati. I'm excited about this pick also. I loved watching him play with the San Antonio Commanders. He made some great catches. He bailed out Logan Woodside a lot of times. So I'm definitely excited about those two picks, Marquise Williams and Mikael McKay, coming out of Cincinnati. In the third round, see if we can find anything in the third round here. Nelson Spruce was picked up in the as a quarterback. Of course, he's with the San Diego Fleet. Spruce did very well when Mike Bukovici was out with an injury. That's the only one that only stands out to me in the second round. Third round. Sorry, fourth round. Let's see. My guy, Shane Coley, wide receiver out of Miami. He went in the 5th pick of the 4th round to the Dallas Renegades, so they'll be raising hell. And my team, Tim Cook, running back out of Oregon State, another guy who tore it up for the Arizona Hotshots. Under that Rick Neuheisel offense, I'm excited about that also. 5th round, let's see. Really nothing in the 5th round that sticks out for me. 6th round, let's see. Kevin McKnight, wide receiver at Sanford. He went with the 5th pick to the Dallas Renegades. And that's really it for the 6th round. 7th round, Philip Nelson, the quarterback out of ECU, he went with the fourth pick in the 7th round to the Dallas Renegades. And Rennell Hall, a guy who I enjoyed watching very much with the Orlando Apollos, he went with the 6th pick to the Tampa Bay Vipers, so he stays right there in Florida. Of course, Rennell Hall is also out of UCF, so Rennell Hall's got the whole Central Florida theme going from there. 8th round, let's see. Tampa Bay took Reese Horn, wide receiver at Indianapolis. That's really the one that stood out. I thought that was a good pickup. And the last pick of the 9th round went to DC. They took Max McCaffrey, the brother of McCaffrey on the Carolina Panthers, also the son of Ed McCaffrey, the former New York Giant wide receiver. So that was pretty interesting. John Turner, you got yourself a pretty good wide receiver there at a Duke. And to round up the last 2 rounds, round 9, let's see. Taylor Cornelius, a quarterback at Oklahoma State, he went with the 5th pick of the 9th round to the Tampa Bay Vipers. Scott Orndorff, the tight end at Pittsburgh, he goes to the Wildcats with the 8th pick of the 9th round to the LA Wildcats. And of course, the 10th round, let's see. Of course, my guy, Marquise Williams, drafted by the Guardians out of North Carolina. And there was another guy I thought. Alonzo Moore, wide receiver, going to Tampa Bay. Of course, he played in Nebraska. And also, Seattle picked up Malachi Jones, wide receiver at Appalachian State. So, there is your first round of the XFL draft, along with the quarterback selections. Listen, as far as the quarterbacks go that were allocated, and I'm dying to know how this allocation went. I mean, did Oliver Luck just say, okay, you go here, you go there, based on what the coaches wanted, or did the coaches go to Oliver Luck, hey, I want this guy, and he gave it to them? This is why I would love to have a quarterback draft like the AAF did last year. If the coaches got to choose the quarterbacks, I'm fine with it. If Oliver Luck is for everyone, I'm sorry, I have a problem with that. I got no problem with Oliver Luck. But if he's not coaching the team, he shouldn't be deciding which quarterbacks go to which teams. But Renegades did well with Landry Jones. DC Defenders got the most raw guy. The guy, I think, with the most talent who could do a lot of the XFL, Cardell Jones. I'm going to be interested to watch him. Houston Roughnecks, Philip Walker. He's fun to watch. He'd be fun to run and shoot. And of course, I can't tell you how many receivers did the Houston take in the first round. I mean, the first round was kind of cooked. The quarterback. Kahale Lewis, receiver at Cincinnati, was their 2nd round pick. 3rd round pick. Sammy Coates, wide receiver out of Auburn. Another receiver, Kyle Hicks, in the 4th round. Dantes Alexander's wide receiver out of Franklin College in the 5th round. We got a lot of receivers here, but the run and shoot is a 4 wide receiver set. Cam Phillips, wide receiver at Virginia Tech. And Houston, where are you? Jalen Schneider, wide receiver at Oklahoma in the 7th round. What do you say? Nothing but receivers they pretty much took. Devin Gray, wide receiver at Cincinnati in the 8th round. And 9th round, let's see. Andre Williams, running back at Boston College. All right, there's your exception to the rule right there. So, and then the 10th round, who would they take? Nick Holly, running back at Kent State. So, out of the 10 picks, they took 7 receivers, 2 running backs, and a quarterback. That's the run and shoot for you, everyone. So, there you go. Let's see. Luis Perez, I'm going to be interested to watch him. He was one of my favorite guys to watch because of the story behind him. Brandon Silvers, I liked him when he was playing with Memphis. When Mettenberger went down, and that's another guy. Zach Mettenberger did not go as a Tier 1 quarterback, so is he in the draft somewhere? We shall see. So, Zach Mettenberger's backup, Brandon Silvers, is a Tier 1, but not him. Aaron Murray, my guy, I like the Georgia very much. Brett Tish, you got a good one. Jordan Tamu, Ole Miss, goes to St. Louis. And, of course, my guy, Matt McGloin. I don't know yet. So, folks, let me know what you think. We are exactly 53 minutes away from the start of the next 10 rounds, which is going to be centers, guards, and offensive tackle. So, the big boys are getting drafted next to protect those high-priced Tier 1 quarterbacks. We'll see you in a few hours.